We're doing another day of compound inequalities. So this is day 3 of this. So what I need you to have out is your calculator just to go along with me. So nothing new, but now we're going to put what we did the first 2 days together. Okay, so again, we're going to write as a single inequality for an and statement or an or statement, 2 separate ones. Just a reminder for something like this, just double check, are the inequalities, are the little alligators eating to the right? That's going to be what you kind of need to look out for. But anyway, how would we get x by itself just in the middle? Well, we're going to minus 4. And remember, we're going to do that each part because this is really 2 separate inequalities. If you ignore this, it would state that, or if you ignore the 9. But again, we're going to do it 3 times. So that gives us a 5, an x, and 12 minus 4, just double checking because you never too safe, and a 5 or 8. So again, this is one of those tweeners, so it's a between one. So I'm going to say this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now again, if for some reason we can't do equal spacing, just put the smaller number to the left and the bigger number to the right, because sometimes there's just not enough space on the number lines I give you. Okay, so if you look at 5, this is a hollow circle, and at 8, this is a filled in circle. And because the inequalities are eating to the right, it's one of these things I call the tweener, so it's an and, so you are shading between because x itself is between the inequalities. And there you go. So this is your solution, and then you have the graph of the solution. Okay, now this is 2-parter, so let's start with the inequality on the left. So I'm going to add 12. Okay, and I have a negative 5x is less than 25, and I'm going to divide both sides by negative 5. And what happens when I do that divide by a negative? Remember, I flip the sign. Okay, that still happens. Okay, then I just do the math and I bring down the word or. Okay, here we go now. Minus 8. Okay, so that goes away. We have negative 6x is greater than 42. And again, I'm dividing, and I'm dividing by a negative again. Don't forget, when you divide by a negative, you got to flip that sign to the other direction. Okay, and then you do the math. Okay, so on the number line, I have a negative 5 and a negative 7. So negative 8, negative 7, negative 6, negative 5, negative 4. Again, this works. It won't always. So then let's look at this part. Well, this is at negative 5, hollow circle going this way. And then look at this part, and it's an or, so we shade all of it. Hollow circle and an arrow going the other direction, because that's what it is. But again, this whole thing is your solution, and then we have the graph of the solution. Okay, we have another or, just checking. So add 13. Okay, so we have 9x is less than negative 9. Okay, now I'm going to divide, but again, I'm not dividing by a negative this time, so do not flip the sign, and I have a negative 1. Okay, I'm going to put the word or there. Minus 7. Okay, so we have a negative 8x is less than or equal to negative 32. I'm going to divide both sides by negative 8. Again, I'm dividing by a negative. So that means I got to flip the sign. So x is greater than a positive 4. So again, this is your solution. Now we have to graph both of those parts. Okay, so we have -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, these happen to work. That's great. So let's do the first one. X is less than -1. Filled in circle, less than. And x is greater than or equal to 4. Filled in circle versus the hollowed, and to the right. And that's your graph. Okay, one more. Here we go. So this is something you're going to do 3 times. So -15 3 times. Okay? So 71 minus 15 is 56. And the rest, I'm going to copy in the middle, what's left. And -25 minus 15 is actually -40. Okay, now I'm going to divide each piece by -8. And because I'm dividing by -8 all directions, I'm going to have to flip the sign for both of them. So remember, it's going to look like that, and it's going to look like that. Now I have a -7, an x, and a +5. Now, again, that works out because if you look in the solution, my alligators, my inequality symbols are eating towards the right. So I know it's a tweener. It's a between. So we have -7 here and 5 here. So I'm just going to put them far apart because there's no way there's going to be enough distance. Okay. So because I know it's a tweener, I look, they're both hollow circles, but think of it, -7 is less than x, so x has to be bigger, and x is less than 5, so it's between shading. Okay, so that's an and. Between shading is an and. Okay, so you got a little homework, a little formative. Do your best, and let me know if you have questions, people. Have a great day.